On the 14th of April 1927, the first Volvo motor car rolled out of the factory in Gothenburg, driven by sales manager Hilding Johansson. An open-topped motor car with a 2-litre engine and 28 brake horsepower. The car, nicknamed Jakob, was understandably no great sales success. It was by no means easy to start a Swedish car company and break into the Nordic market with only a cabriolet in the range. Only 300 cars were sold during the first years the car was in production. Volvo's world-famous safety image was in fact born before the first car rolled off the production line. In 1926, when one of the first 9 prototypes was being driven between Stockholm and Gothenburg, the Jakob was involved in a head-on collision with an American automobile. The American car was a complete write-off, whilst the Volvo survived with only a few scratches. And a safety image was born. Towards the end of the 20s and at the beginning of the 30s, Volvo's production was somewhat modest. Inspiration came in the first instance from the USA, when skilled Swedish engineers who had worked in Detroit returned home with new technical skills and American-inspired designs. Volvo's first really big success came in 1944, when the PV 444 was exhibited at the Stockholm Motor Show, held at the Royal Tennis Hall in Stockholm. The PV was also the major breakthrough for Volvo on the US market. The car was smaller than American models, but roomier inside, and had sufficient horsepower to be regarded as a family sports saloon. The PV also quickly established itself as a big favourite amongst rally drivers. It frequently occurred that competitors refused to start a race if a Volvo was in the field, it being considered a waste of both time and petrol. In 1953, Volvo presented its first estate car, the Duet, which was the prelude to Volvo's concentration on family motor cars, even if this particular model was perhaps best suited for tradesmen. During the 1950s, it was primarily the Italians who set the tone in the design world. Volvo's new chief designer, Jan Vilsgaard, who was given the task of producing a new model, blended Italian inspiration with Swedish functionality, which led to Volvo's new huge success, the Amazon, or the P120 as it was called abroad. In 1955, Volvo's concentrated efforts on exports to America gained real momentum.
This is Volvo, the Swedish-built compact.
Efforts which resulted in the USA becoming the company's largest market. In 1959, Volvo became the first motor manufacturer in the world to fit the 3-point seatbelt as standard in a mass-produced car. The inventor of the car safety belt, Niels Bohlin, received many fine awards, at the same time as his invention saved millions of lives. In 1960, Volvo presented its new sports car, which became world famous on our TV screens. When Roger Moore, as the Saint, chose the P1800 rather than an Aston Martin or a Jaguar, rumbles could be heard in the British motor industry. But for Volvo, success. In the middle of the 1960s, Volvo presented the world's safest car. When the Volvo 144 was presented in 1966, it was voted Car of the Year in the Nordic countries. It was also the first time that Volvo developed a saloon and an estate car in parallel. The 240 series, which was introduced in 1974, was developed based on this model. The timeless design has attracted customers all over the world for nearly 30 years. When production halted in 1993, 2.8 million 240 series cars had been built. During the 1970s, Volvo also started building cars in Holland. In 1976, the Volvo 343 was introduced, which in time became a really popular model. During this period, Volvo also invested major resources in environmental operations. Volvo was first in the world with the catalytic converter and the lambda sonde. The exhaust emissions from these cars were so low that the American test team didn't believe the results. But everything was correct, and the Volvo 240 was voted the cleanest car sold in America. it is still the case that the catalytic converter is one of the most important components in the process of exhaust cleaning in all modern cars. In the 80s, when the majority of motor manufacturers in the world concentrated on a rounder design form, the Volvo Car Corporation chose to go its own way. Both the Volvo 760 and the 740 created a great deal of attention and interest, and once again it was time to break new sales records. A major part of this success was almost certainly due to its superb load capability. For Volvo, this was a turning point after many difficult years.
We built a car that's a step above the rest. It's a real humdinger, yeah, we put it to the test. Got the looks and the feel, got the power for a load, and we put it all together, yeah, we put it on the road. And don't you know we're gonna get you?
At the beginning of the 1990s, the Volvo Car Corporation presented its largest industrial project ever, the Volvo 850. The world-famous Volvo qualities, safety, reliability, function, and environmental care were all packed into a new dynamic design that slowly but surely would transform the image of Volvo during the remainder of the 1990s. The Volvo 850 received glowing praise when it was presented to the press in 1991. This model has also won more awards and prizes than any of Volvo's other cars. In Italy, it was voted the world's most beautiful estate car. A great deal of the basic architecture from the 850 project, including the space-saving transverse engine, lives on in Volvo's new models. From having principally sold cars from a safety and quality perspective over the years, Volvo cars have, in recent years, also become increasingly exciting both technically and in their design. The driving experience and characteristics have also been given greater priority during the development of the more recent models. Today, Volvo design their cars completely digitally, which enables designers and engineers to work much more rapidly to a higher level of quality. Nowadays, it's not only possible to design a car in a computer, it's also possible to carry out crash tests before a single prototype is built. And the developments continue. Both the cars and the people who drive them will change in the future. As one way of sounding out the reaction of tomorrow's customers and at the same time test new technologies, Volvo has built a number of conceptual cars in recent years. Here, the innovations of tomorrow can be tested with a view to developing even better, safer, and more environment-friendly motorcars. Developments to satisfy the changing demands of tomorrow's motorists. Volvo will continue to be a driving force in this development.